Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Sexy Brutale. Now, it's been at least over a week since I last played this game, which that definitely was the danger, certainly, on a game like this in particular, where you kinda need to know all the events of the game, and I kinda don't know all the events of the game anymore. I've probably forgotten more than I remember. And we're right at the end, so like this is gonna be interesting. Like there is a small chance I'm gonna walk through a door and then that's going to be either the beginning of the end or just straight up the end. We have, I know, just looking at this, 6 invitations we haven't found, which I don't see a lot of hints as to how to find them, and 12 cards defined. So it feels like there would be a lot more game, but there really is no confirmation that there's going to be a lot more game. And see, I don't even know where I'm going to reload. We're at the heaven and hell staircase. Alright, let's just go through this. We can go through mirrors. I know we can do that now. And we can see the entire timeline in which we can see where everybody goes. So it may not really matter too much as far as like not remembering what happens, as much as it may be just a case that I have to use the map. But we still, at this point, don't have a way to get back to this area. Unless there's just a mirror transport to get back to that area. But I kind of suspect all the mirror transports go back to these corners. And so we should test that if we see a mirror. We have this ring, and I don't know what we do with the ring. We have all the masks I imagine we're going to get, and we have one less person to save. And then as far as the brochure, everything is collapsed here, but there's certainly a lot of stuff still to see. I guess the question would be, can we zoom in and find a mirror first, or should we just go and see what happens there? I think we just go and see what happens here. Where's the door? Aren't we in this room? It's like I'm facing a door, but there's no door there. What? Okay, maybe we were just in a different room than what I thought I was in. I guess I'm just kind of hoping that the story does not end here. There's a glowing heart on the door wrapped in blue flame. The door will not move. So I guess maybe we needed the ring, and maybe there was a way to have not gotten the ring, but I don't think there really was. The door is reacting to the Marquet's signet room. The blue flames die down. And it almost feels like you would do that multiple times. But see, and also there's just an autosave function in the game. So if I do end the game, I'm just going to end the game. And it seems like this leads to a rooftop area. Noticeably, there's not anything extra in this room. And the other items I don't think are so much needed. So if we're going to a rooftop now, and we have a winding key for a chapel, and we have the 7 of clubs. Knowledge of this place floods your mind. That's the other thing certainly I need to focus on. Alright, so I am here now. So this is the 3rd floor of the game, of the house, not a disconnected part of the house. So where am I supposed to go, per se? So people are dying all over the place, and we know that. Organ's playing itself there feels strange here. Guess we could use the lighter. So we talk at last. It's been a long road for you all to come back here. Take this and I'll play on. And so that's the King of Diamonds. This room you remember. This hookah. I thought you might be able to break it. Alright, so you really don't have other rooms to deal with. Blank cartridge. This. In a funny way, this may be the one time in which you're going to have the most amount of items. Okay. So yeah, we have a blank cartridge and the winding key. We have unlocked smoking room, waiting room, hunting room, which does seem to be that we still need an unknown power. So it does seem like there's more game here that we don't have yet. And I'm just not sure who I'm even supposed to be saving otherwise. And we have a prison that we're collecting through cards. So I assume you're supposed to wind this, and maybe that means all of the clocks in the entire like all the clocks in the entire house now are synchronized. Which, okay. Nice to know. But I don't know what the point of that is. Yeah, I don't know generally what the point of this would be at all. Like, if I was to... Oops. If I was to possibly walk through here. Alright, that gave us an achievement. And so where are we now? We're in a room with a guy. But I don't see him. Man, this is really slow. This whole process. We're gonna have to come back and try and figure out what each of these rooms and mirror sections could lead to, that if they would be of any use at all. I kind of would have preferred that they had like a card in every room. That doesn't seem to be the case. Just as ornate, but we don't have any way of lockpicking it. Why don't I have the lockpicking ability? Right. There definitely was a room that I suspected I guess you can look through these mirror things. There was a room I suspected was going to have just more of a pivot, but I don't know if that's really the way things are going to change. And so we're running out of time. See, I'm just not ready yet to try this. Yeah. See, if you wake up here, and then you ran in here, and then you use your lockpicking skills on this, and then you take this, and we've got an invitation we got out of there. See, I just don't know. This is not the path the ring will open. See, so my question here is, are you supposed to do this? And then this. And then this. And see, that ended the whole experience. There is something here. There is more to the chapel than I knew. I should have guessed. Look for where you can use your powers, see through the facade to the truth behind. So we're in the right place, but it's not just saving the guy. And we should... Yeah, we still have like 5 invitations. That's weird. Broken mask room. And the fact that the lockpicking's invitation is in a safe at the very beginning of the game does indicate that there is something more to all of this. Let's see. What can we do? Like, because there's just so many of these interaction points that I thought we were going to have some kind of ability around this, but it doesn't seem like there is an ability. He was close all along, you know, Mr. Sixpence, that is. Just a bit mixed up. This place does that to you. Communion wafers. Okay, so by shattering that, what am I doing? Well found boon. Please come join me. Is that the marquee? Or have we just broken out of this nightmare hell he's created where people die over and over again? And now we're just transitioning in a cutscene. Yeah, because we were chasing after this guy, and then he says, go through this door, and it gives you this little puzzle. And I guess the idea there was if you were playing the game straight through, which this really is a game you should play straight through. At least the last act should be played straight through instead of taking a week of being distracted and forgetting everything. Although some players do play that way and do have schedules like that. So I guess the idea here is that we were given a puzzle to just break up the cutscenes, and now we're going to be back to cutscenes and monologuing. You can see on the table there seems to be a model of the mansion. I cannot control you. And A button's not working. B, X, Y. Did my mouse somehow lose focus? Maybe I bumped the mouse. I cannot make you part of my world, not truly. Let me just unplug my controller and plug it back in. Okay, that was weird. I just replugged in my controller, so it must have been a loose connection. But perhaps once you see, you will decide for yourself whether or not this world is the right one for us. This is Lucas Bonds, the Marquis of the Sexy Brutale. So this Gold Skull character is not the Marquis? I thought he was. Interesting. And he's in this clock tower. We also see the Blood Lady on the other side. So it's almost like it's an angel and a devil, or a devil and an angel situation, although they both look kind of devilish. And I was thinking that the Blood Lady was the wife and that the Gold Skull guy was the Marquis, and that still is possible, but maybe not. Lucas, says the Blood Lady. So maybe she is the wife, but she's in love with Lucas, not the Skull character. My Lucas. I have brought us all here to judge this man, or rather to sentence him. His guilt is not in question. You don't understand, please. He is a good man. We shall see. Boone, watch carefully. There's time, still plenty of time. It's sixpences calculations after all. The explosive all primed, everything will go off at once at the stroke of midnight. The garden full of my guests safely outside by then, and a garden full of witnesses to clear me of any wrongdoing. It's risky, but the insurance. It's a new life for Eleanor and I. Something a little less extravagant this time. So he's going to blow up his mansion in an insurance fraud scheme, and it's going to go badly. Lucas. My Lucas. That's probably not the best tragic turn of events. Please, he's a good man. Heavy. We're back to cutscenes where you don't have to press A. 6p. Pence, I'm afraid you lack things. I don't want to see this. You'll be very disappointed, old chap. You'd have done a much neater and smaller job. Oh, where are my... I think I must have left them in the other room. Yes. Turn your face away. How easy for you. How easy to look the other way. I'm the one who has to keep everything together. Is it perfect? No. But this is what is right. The closest to right that we deserve. Please, he's a good man. My beautiful mansion. I will miss you so dearly. This really is a case where you need to be able to press A between it, but you are also a gamble. This house is not always winning, and you are a luxury. It's time to cash in the check. The text moving just way too fast. What was that? Oh my god, no. Fire. The theater, but how? The casino, no. No, no, no. The timer. Did I do something wrong? No, how can this be happening? I have to get out. Ellie, Ellie. No, no. No, no. Oh God, what have I done? And so the Marquis jumps out the window. He survived that fall. A little bruised, somewhat broken, but he lived. And there you have it, Boone. This man set fire to his own mansion for nothing more than the insurance. The guests in the mansion, they didn't truly die to giant spiders or demon fish or crushing cages. So I want to point out here, you might have good intentions of giving a better life to yourself and your wife and potential child, but there are also bad actions and straight up stupid actions, such as insurance fraud and burning down your whole house. And as far as whether that makes the Marquis a good or bad man is really not for me to say so much, but I can certainly say that these actions were not good and that they are they were not well thought out at all. Particularly in this case, it seems really unrealistic that you would have a casino slash mansion that is huge and so nicely decorated, and you couldn't sell it, and would have to try and burn it down for insurance money. They died in the fire that this man set. I've kept this mansion running, embellished the deaths, added some flair, but this is the main man truly responsible for the deaths in this mansion. And I assume the Marquis is also the person in the hospital being kept alive to look like the club card killers. He's at least one of them, I would suspect. This isn't everything. You don't know. It is more than enough. We will wait, Boone. If you can figure out, if you wish to save this man, then go ahead. I will not stop you. So this is our last person. Right. So am I supposed to... This watch has been synchronized, I think, to this. So we have to go and figure out I mean, it seems like you can't really do anything here, that this is just a small room set up. So we're just kind of waiting until he leaves the room so that we can then come down here and then that. So does he set the bombs so that they synchronize that way? And do I have like anything here? And you can't seemingly go through the door at all. Because that would be my thought as far as what I would want to do, is I would want to go through the door. Notice how the music just kind of pauses. So we're getting the same dialogue a second time, and noticeably he dies in this real world timeline. I guess he never really dies. So me saving him from the fire doesn't actually save his life, which may not really matter. It still seems to be the goal. Right. But yeah, he's dying or jumping through the window at like 4 p.m. Which does seem to imply that we're going to do something after this 4 p.m. Once more, perhaps? No, interesting, it just resets you. There's just kind of nothing here. And we kind of know what the other two rooms are because we walked through them. So, not really I really don't have a good reason to expect anything from this. This as zoomed in. Let's see. Safe room is unlocked, so now all of the chapel is done. Secrets are all locked, so we may have some new ability, but I don't know what the new ability was. No, we still need some kind of unknown power. Let's see. What we don't have, seemingly, is a capability to just set other points where we could transport or reset at. So maybe that's what we'll get, is just an ability to jump between different safes. Let's see if maybe we can look through the door. We can't. Yeah, if we could go back and talk to Sixpence again. Unless we're supposed to just talk to one of these people over and over again. Like, there's just this timing arms cutters here. I can buy arm new tools. I'll try and exhaust lines of dialogue. Okay. So, arms cutters. Let's just restart the day. How can we get arms cutters? This is still all Saturday. To cut. Like, if arms cutters are not in this room, then what else could I do? Really seems like there's nothing you could do. It almost seems like you've potentially lost the game just because you didn't find arms cutters. Which I don't believe we've ever seen an item called arms cutters either. There's no walking around in the front of these characters. Alright. I wonder what happens if I let the mask actually kill me. That might be the better move. Remember the Ting Sung. Why are they having this conversation now? I'm just gonna let this guy kill me and see what happens here. Because you see the blood's kind of draining out of your mask there. Extremely, extremely slowly. Let's just see what happens to that. If this is the game over, that would suck. Yeah, I wonder if it is a case where these guys are just supposed to talk to each other. Yeah, otherwise I just don't know what the trick is here. I can't get out of this area. You're given 2 small opportunities to run down there and look for something. There's nothing you can do with the door. So maybe at that point I fixed it. Maybe I needed to synchronize the clock with my clock on the bomb. And so then now the bombs won't go off. It's not always winning, and then there's a word that's missing there. Oh, you know what I did? Is I probably have set it up so I can get out of this room. So the fire's still going to go off, obviously. But now when I... What is this? I didn't even know. I didn't think about doing that at all. I forgot that was even a thing you could do. Alright. So let's just go ahead and restart. And now we'll be outside the room. And so now we can look for arms, wire cutters. We're going long today. Certainly. Alright. Now we have arms, wire cutters. We're going to use this to disarm this bomb and save his life. And we missed a couple of things in that room. Wait, the wire is cut. And we're back to pressing A to move the story forward. Who? Wait, this isn't right. The timer. I made a mistake. This would have gone off earlier. Oh my god. Boone? I think we can forego having the masks chase you, Boone. There's no need for that anymore. Not here. I guess that bad guy was having the masks chase you? Lafcadio, what are you doing here? Please, you have to leave. This I can explain, or rather, I don't imagine I need to. I'm so sorry, my old friend. I should have told you. But you can be rather proper, no? I'm gonna burn this place down. You know I love this place. It's everything. But I love her more. We have a child on the way, you know? In this mansion, the cost, the sheer drain of it. I'm not a young, reckless gambler I used to be, Laffy. I thought you'd be proud. I forgot about the whole nickname thing, where you have 2 or 3 different names you're called by. I've locked the demons up tight. No more chasing the high stakes for me. Although, I will admit, this plan was somewhat thrilling. But I timed it so that everything would detonate once everyone was safely outside. There is one of these devices in every fireplace, and the fireplaces are all connected. But no one will be hurt. But then, it's the darnest thing, the wire here was cut. And I've just noticed a rather terrible mistake. I think if it hadn't been cut, then everything would have gone off early. I can't imagine what would have happened. You see? He never meant it. He never meant to hurt anyone. Please, please stop this torture. Eleanor, is that you? This is going to be another case where it would have been way nicer to have a zoomed in cutscene and see the characters. No, he did not intend, says the gold mask guy. And we can see now that the Blood Lady is Eleanor. And that was fairly obvious once we kind of realized that. But he acted. And they all died. They all died. He killed them, Boone. So, is my name Boone or Lucadio? Or both? He killed everyone he ever cared about. His friends. His own wife. His unborn child. We don't deserve to be forgiven. They don't deserve to be forgotten. Don't you see, Boone? This is how I keep them alive. This party, this day. This party, this day. That was repeated for some weird reason. I keep that agony fresh. I see their faces. I remember them. She would have us forgive ourselves. She would let us go. She would have you live. But I'm not ready. I'll never be ready. Please, Boone. Boone? Everything you see in this mansion, it's the memory of a broken man, reliving the nightmare of the night he murdered everyone dear to him, one terrible act that he wished he could take back, every second that he has lived since. There is only one man responsible for everything happening in this mansion. Lucas. Which I guess that's the reveal here. Gold Mask takes his helmet off. And I guess that's supposed to be Lucas again. Although frankly, the hairstyle looks different enough and you're so crazily zoomed out that you really couldn't tell. Totally needed a zoomed in cutscene there. And I take off my mask. I'm also Lucas. Lucas. So it's 3 different versions of me. Although in this case, me taking my mask off, the hair is completely different again, and I can't even see my face because the hair is in the way, so again needs to be totally zoomed in. Look how old you've gotten, my love. So Lucas survived, I guess is the general idea. So the one on the left is the youngest version, I assume, of Lucas. The one on the right is the middle-aged version, a little bit older. And the one in the middle is the oldest, with the white hair. It's time. We must go to see him. And this isn't the best point to end the episode, but I'm going to try and see if we can do that. So all of these people are taking their helmets off, and we can see it's all old Lucas again, being the killer. And so is that Lucas in the background. Also, it's been more than 40 years, Lucas. You've punished yourself long enough. So you've been in this nightmare for 40 years, apparently. You almost died when you fell. Then it's been like you stayed alive just to make sure you suffered. You were hospitalized, near dead. You went to prison, but it still wasn't enough. You have suffered and missed us every day. We aren't here to forgive you, Lucas. You will never have that. We are gone, and we cannot say the words. You cannot ever know if we would say those words. But as much as you've hated yourself, you've always known one thing. In your heart of hearts, you know that I would not have wanted you to suffer forever. One day, enough would be enough. Today can be that day, Lucas, if you want. If you are ready. You don't have to forget. You only have to forgive yourself just enough to live. His very presence is painful for me to look at, just as my appearance is painful for you. He is the king of this mansion. He is perhaps the purest glimpse into your soul, my love. Fragile, ragged, alone, but beyond powerful. Enough rage and pain and grief to destroy and rebuild this mansion 100,000 times over, trapped down here watching his friends murdered over and over and over through these mirrors. He is the king of this mansion, but a puppet king. It's time to release him from this torment. There's a bunch of mirrors around here, so maybe those are shortcuts in which you would have saved everybody. But also, I wonder if there really isn't even going to be a call to save everybody. It definitely feels like this game would kind of suck if there wasn't a way in which you could try to speedrun and save everybody in one run. It's time to release him from this torment. But I could see them just automating and scripting the experience of everybody being saved in one run. Take the mask. Take your mask, Lucas. I will return every aspect of yourself. It will return every aspect of yourself. Then let us go. Let us all go. It doesn't mean you forget. I love you. There's one other option. Walk away. Use the watch. Turn back time, let the party start again. We will all be here. Your friends will be here. Your mansion. Your memories. You don't have to let them go. It's your choice. Frankly, I'm just going to say no. Let's just end it. If that means I don't get all the achievements, or I have to do some cleanup, that's fine. As long as it doesn't like overwrite your save file and make you start from the beginning, that's fine. If it does, then I just wouldn't ever bother to try and do that. But obviously the right move is to not reset the day. This place is yours, Lucas. It is horrible and broken and twisted. You don't have to be a prisoner here. I loved you. I loved you so much. And you love me. Inherently, this is one of those games that's giving you really only one option and then a really dumb option that nobody would take. At least on their first choice, people might take it to see what happens. But there's been no point in the game where the blood lady on the right was untrustworthy or gave you bad advice. And there's been no point in the game where the Golden Skull character on the left has been trustworthy and has given you advice. So there would be no reason why you would ever side with the guy on the left. I love you so much and you love me. I know you're sorry. I know it's not enough. But it is done. Let some of the pain go. Live your life. Goodbye, my love. Alright, so I'm making multiple copies of myself, 6 of them to be precise. I'm going through the mirrors. And I would assume that those 6 versions of myself are at the same time saving everybody, preventing the guy from drinking the poison, preventing her from getting cursed, preventing the people from dying. A lot of these cutscenes don't even make sense alone. You really would need to see a little bit more or remember them from the previous points. Which again, that really highlights where playing this game in a very short burst makes a lot of sense. Goodbye, my love. Whatever I am, I'm always here. Visit if you want, but don't stay too long. It's time for you to make new memories. Time to live the life you still have. Time to move on, old man. This is like a real graveyard, not just a room with a graveyard in it. And I don't control this. And that's the Sexy Brutale. Now, I was playing this game in comparison to Zero Time Dilemma, and I will say there is way more game in this than Zero Time Dilemma had. And there's basically magic and like it's just magic and time travel, I guess, but even the time travel is pretty magic as far as ideas, whereas Zero Time Dilemma has like going into the future, jumping into the past, going back into a different future, alternate realities, robots and viruses and cults, and there's just so much nonsense in the story of the Zero Time Dilemma and the Nonary game series in general, where this makes a lot more sense and is easier to follow. Somebody is mentally torturing themselves, everything is happening in their mind, so having the ability to do magical things like go back in time or walk through mirrors or talk to ghosts, all of that gets explained because it's all just a delusion anyways. And even if you are playing the game and they haven't revealed that it's all just happening in someone's mind, for the most part, that's what's happening here. I can only take it that way. It would be weird to assume that this all magically was happening for some reality. Still, the magical concepts in this of talking to ghosts and going back in time are not overemphasized enough that they become complicated. Now, as much as I can applaud this game for having more gameplay than Zero Time Dilemma, there's still a noticeable idea here that's missing, in that there seems to be no like Iron Man mode concept where you can try and save everybody in one run. If you do save somebody, the game ends and resets the day. So unless after the credits some kind of all-in-one run mode unlocks, then that's kind of gonna suck. But it almost seems like that is the case because we don't have an ability. There's clearly unlockables that it says you said I could not unlock until I got a new ability. And now, for the first time, we have the menu looking a little bit more colorful, where it was kind of just black before in the background, I think. Okay. So you click continue game here. And where is this going to take us? It takes us to the chapel. And let's see what we have. Everybody's been saved. We don't really have another mask power when we got that other mask ability. There are 5 invitations that we may just have to play with. And yeah, some of these say an unknown power. Alright. So you wouldn't be able to see any of this until after the fact. So we need to potentially look in fireplaces and just try and do cleanup. A red dove is what they call her, the bloody girl. So every little secret thing is now unlocked. Everything in the chapel is now unlocked. Everything in the gardens is unlocked. But we've got a couple things in the basement, which I assume we unlock in the basement. And I wonder if the unknown power is just walking into a certain area to unlock a lot of this. But there is obviously a lot of rooms where I'm just going to have to walk around the entire map and go into every room and try to investigate everything. But then there is also an aspect of 5 invitations still being missing, and I may need a walkthrough for that. And it doesn't really seem like there's a way to just defeat the other copies of myself. Now knowing that that is the card killers. If there was a way to do that, that would be helpful, certainly. If I could just start walking in the rooms where people, or at least the bad guys, are and defeating them, and then that would be the last bit of the cards. Like, we need 8 cards. There's probably 6 of these guys on the field. Let's see, there's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's exactly 8 of these characters on the field. So, nope, there's a 9th. I see 4 here. I see 3 here. I see 2 there. That's 9. And 9 would be 1 too many. But it would, maybe that the one of them would lead to an invitation. Otherwise, I have no idea what the invitations are. So it's going to be kind of a boring cleanup unless things change quite a bit, which I suspect they won't change that much. But yeah, noticeably no pop-up saying, you know what, now you can run around the entire map and try and save everybody. I don't know if it really is that reasonable that you could save everybody, but I would sure have liked that to have been the main concept of the game, is that you would have gotten better at using the abilities and better at walking and getting to point A and point B as quickly as possible. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it really wants to support that. We never got an ability to run, whereas if you did just double the walking speed, you probably would make this game way smoother to play and easier. And I guess the reason why you can't, storyline wise, increase the walking speed is because he is an old man, and that's why he's walking so slow. But that wasn't explained until the very end of the game. Yeah, that's going to be it for this recording. Let's do some cleanup, and then I'll think if I have anything else to say about this game. This game's not bad by any means, but I kind of wish there was a little bit more to it, and I kind of wish that it had kept my attention a little bit more. there's still definitely some questions that haven't been answered. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.